Okay, welcome back to the RTTV Breakfast Show. If you are just joining in, what do we tell them?
I think you're onto how do I put it now? I don't want to say the peak of the pie or something, but then this is about the best. Well, this is about the best part of the breakfast show today. So let's go.
All right, so you're welcome back. It's the sit down, and we have, and I will call him the man that makes grown men cry. Now he always smiles at this, like, who told you that? Why would you say the man that makes grown men cry? Well, he's a life coach. He's, I would say, a mentalist. If you listen to him, okay, let me not talk from my personal experience anyway. Let's welcome Mr. Adeboye Martin. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I was speaking with him earlier, and it felt like the discussion should not end because there's so much to learn from you. So I'll just take it back to the beginning, although it's not really that what we want to talk about. But how did you come about becoming who you are today? Did you have an experience, or is it a God-given talent?
Both, if you want to put it like that.
Okay.
I was in business. I was an executive in food and beverages. And then I went out on my own. I worked for some time in oil services. And I had a lot of discontent in me. And then one day I came across a few books, a particular book, and it was like, phew, I woke up. Because what I really have loved doing since as far back as I can remember, is helping people. The curious thing is, after years of doing trainings that made me able to coach people, I met an old friend, a childhood friend, and he said, so what are you doing these days? And I told him, and he looked at me and he said, but you've always been doing that.
Oh.
And that was, oh, okay. And we're talking of right back to my early teens. That was when we were really close and we used to move around together. So I thought, okay, so it's always been there. And it just came alive through that moment when I came across that book.
And that was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, great, sir. Now, there's something that really intrigues me when I go through your profile. You use a method called the Sedona technique. And I was actually reading on it and all of that, and I found out something. I read something much earlier, which I had known, which I use as a sort of motto through life. It talks about a life force, about egg, that the life force of eggs comes from the inside. That's why it breaks from the inside out. And that when it breaks from the outside in, then it's not a natural process. So that is why I think that the Sedona method is a very, very efficient way of dealing with stuff. Now, let's really break it down, because even to me myself, I still need to learn about it. What exactly is the Sedona method, and how can it work for a personality?
Well, the Sedona method is one of many methods, but it's a very natural one. A man, through his own experience over many years, found that we have much more control over our emotions than we really are aware of.
Okay.
We say things like, you made me angry, that thing irritated me. We talk about life as if it happens from the outside in, just like the egg, you were talking about. But actually, life happens from the inside out. And the Sedona is just one. There's NLP as well, Neuro-Linguistic programming, and other methods that show that we actually live from the inside out. Most of the time, we get angry at certain situations. It's because at some earlier time, we made a choice to be angry at such kinds of situations. And so and we've forgotten that choice.
Okay.
And so we get there and we think the environment is making us do these things. But it was a choice we made. The beauty of it is that we can make a new choice. And that's what the Sedona method and many of these methods are about. Helping us rediscover the power to make choices, new choices, and respond in different ways to our environment.
What are the similarities between the Neuro-Linguistic programming and the Sedona method?
Tremendous similarities, because
but by the way, before you go there, please explain to them what the Neuro-Linguistic programming
Neuro-Linguistic programming. Neuro-Linguistic programming is a methodology that started in the early 70s in a university in California, University of California, Santa Cruz. But it started outside the classroom, but with brilliant mentors who were some of the academicians. But it was a way of describing human competence. These two gentlemen, one was a student and one was a lecturer, wanted to find out exactly how does a person do extraordinary things? You know, how does a person, for instance, absorb criticism without taking offense? How does a person perform excellently in an examination? How does a person nurture wonderful relationships with people, and other people don't do that? That they wanted to find, was there any pattern that generated, any internal pattern that generated successful behavior? And they found that, generally speaking, it's between your sense of identity and your beliefs and your values, certain mental strategies that people have, and also the behavior, how you use your body. That if you can read these three groups, you can make a model of human behavior which you can teach to somebody else. So you can very quickly teach a person who is oversensitive to criticism, if they really want to learn, how to take criticism impersonally. And you can teach other skills. It's NLP, for instance, is could I call it the technology of choice for accelerated learning?
Technology of choice for
accelerated learning. Yes. Yes.
Okay, before we go on, we're talking about similarities now.
Yeah.
But then just before you talk about that, the phone lines are open. You can call it in. And well, it's there's a whole lot going on the show today. Numbers to call in 08091 2222 84 85 and 86. Also 0814 0000 283 and 284. Okay, so we're talking about the similarities between both techniques.
Yeah.
I know now when you talk about neuro-linguistic, of course, you're talking about the brain, and then you're talking about the mouth. That means that there is some sort of, like
the
you
language.
Said, exactly.
The language.
Exactly, the language, what you talk and what you believe, saying and believing. I know it's part of it there. So what are the similarities between the NLP and the Sedona method?
Well, they both deal a lot with emotions. Because our emotions, the emotional field, is a very, very powerful field in which we live out our lives. Okay. It's basically how we feel about things that we respond to them. And our beliefs determine how we're going to feel about something.
Okay. I personally feel that the man who can master his emotions can master the world, can rule the world. That's what I personally feel. It's all about emotions. Okay, let's say very
clear.
Now,
we talked about mastering emotions. Is it really possible to master your emotions? Because we spoke about something earlier now, believing that, oh, I have done this or I have taken care of this, instead of actually having that restructuring of the mind that, oh, this can be done differently. Now, is it possible for a human being to master his emotion without training?
I think it is, provided that they have the intent and they learn through experience. This is why you find some, not all elderly people, some are very wise and have a very powerful influence without even trying to on other people.
Okay.
Because over the years, they have exerted themselves through observing their experience, observing their own role, developing some humility, recognizing that their good experiences and their bad experiences had a lot to do with who they were, how they behaved, how they felt inside. And so they learn to refine, to control, to calm down, to control their emotions. And this is why wise older people, and not every older person is wise, we know, but wise older people usually go for calmness and control of emotions, because they realize that so much of a person's experiencing is generated in reciprocity to his emotional nature.
Okay, so let's say very clear. Now, a lot of times now, some people might feel that this is quite over the edge. Let's have an activity now, very simple. Now, let's say I have issues with the way I relate with, say, maybe ladies or something, or let's say the way I relate with ladies. I have an issue with that, and because of an experience I had maybe with my mom always used to beat me, and I have this feeling that, look, I have to lord it over ladies. I have to be the man, and it makes me, I'm threatened when I see a lady who's successful, and I feel that, look, if she's more, or if she's even as close a bit, to my success, then she might want to lord it over me. How? If I came to meet you now, and then I wanted to do something to myself, how would you help me get out of this particular kind of situation? Let's make it very practical. Now I'm with you, and we're doing it now, and let's go.
Well, first of all, I would work at finding out what you believe. Now, most people who have negative beliefs about women think that they're positive beliefs about them. Yes, they think these women, because we always project it out.
Okay.
So instead of saying, I'm afraid or I am insecure about the other gender, it's that they are bad. There's something wrong with them.
Everybody else's fault.
They're twisted, this and that. And to control them, you have to dominate them from the word go, this and that.
Yes,
now,
yes.
I begin conversationally to work with that person to show him that his beliefs will always generate a response. Maybe I would use instances, for instance, from whoever. For instance, have you met people who are really calm, who really love animals? Mm-hmm. You can see ferocious dogs just come up to them and then just change and become relaxed with them. I had a friend years ago, and we went to visit another friend of mine. My friend was an Englishman. I went to visit another friend of mine who had a fierce dog that had been ill-treated. And he saw the dog and immediately started shedding tears in Alsatian. And the woman was warning him, don't touch the dog, don't touch the dog. And the dog was looking at him, and he went up and he stroked the dog. And the dog relaxed completely with him. Because it could sense the love in him. It could sense the love.
What's up?
The love.
Sir, please, there's dog and there's dog.
Yeah.
There's whiskey.
No, I'm coming back up. No,
I'm just kidding,
I'm coming
sir.
up.
Go ahead.
The same thing you'll observe with children. Children know people who like them and people who don't immediately. So a person comes into a house full of children, they just look at the person, and one of them comes trustingly up to the person, starts playing, they all come and they start playing. Another person comes in, the children just look and they just dodge. They sense immediately. Now, here's the thing.
Is that why they dodge around?
Wait, here's the thing. Adults too are so sensitive, but we use our thinking to hide our sensitivity. But we frequently, our real responses to people are at the gut emotional level. So you see somebody and I just don't like that person, or you see somebody and I like the person, And then we use our thinking to justify, but it's after the fact. Yeah. So if you don't like women, or if you're a woman and you don't like men, you're going to generate unpleasant experiences for yourself with the
By
people.
yourself, it's not.
But it comes from
it's not
you.
the people you meet.
Yeah. And if you are inwardly benevolent towards the opposite gender, whichever one you belong to, you will find that you generally get better responses from them. It doesn't wipe away the imperfections of the individuals, but you will generate better responses, better attitudes automatically towards yourself.
Okay, this is an entirely different situation now. It's someone
But sorry, does that make sense?
Yes,
what you said? Yeah.
It does. I'm trying to, I know that if I came for a personal consultation,
is it your problem?
I'll spend more time, but then I'm trying to put it all into perspective.
Don't worry, I'm here for you. Okay, I was just kidding. This is an entirely different situation now. You talked about people projecting what they must have experienced in the past. Now, this is Mr. A. Mr. A has grown up in a perfect environment, calm, everything is good. But people take advantage of his being calm. And they'll tell you that different situations attract different reactions. Now, I cannot be in a calm situation, I'm trying to make peace, and the other person is spilling negativity on me at every opportunity. There may just be a chance that, what if I tell this person that, stop it? And the person, should I just calm down and be like, it will go away? It will never go away in most cases in real life. So I wonder, how would that kind of person handle a situation without being like the other person?
Okay. You're right there. Even a calm older person, you'll find that the fact that he's calm doesn't mean he will not be severe on occasion. So you've got to handle people appropriately. but it's the basic underlying attitude which determines it. Sometimes you even get angry with your children. Doesn't mean you don't love them, you know, but sometimes you need a little bit of anger to be able to deal with them appropriately.
Okay.
But you've got to keep that anger in check. If you now get lost in the anger, then the child will think, wow, you hate me. But if you keep control, but do what you have to do, even if it comes to chastising the child physically, you know, beating the child will sense that, yes, there's love behind this, and may even find his or her way to accepting that I do deserve what's happening.
And what if it's in a situation where the person cannot control? Like you're dealing with superiors, or you're dealing with security agencies, anybody, you can be dealing with someone that you can't really control the emotion that you give out to them. You can't really control what comes back to you. Like, okay, Mike is my elder brother, and he's been mean to me. My shouting back at him may not actually guarantee that he would consider what I do. How do I handle that situation?
Again, I think that people who generally have good feelings and cultivate good feelings handle situations better than people who don't. I know people who never have problems with Nigerian police. They never have problems personally with Nigerian police. I'll tell you, there was a famous activist who is late now, and he was a real activist, and he was continually arrested. I was in a police station in Ikeja. One day he was brought in. He was an utter gentleman. He spoke respectfully to the policemen, and they treated him with respect, regardless of the orders they had. And this was during, when I saw this, this was during the military regime. Regardless of the orders they had and how to deal with him, he was a complete gentleman, and they responded in like the personal level.
Okay.
With the attitudes, honestly, I'm not saying the Nigerian police are perfect. They are not. But the attitudes we take to them, the expectations we take to them, can aggravate the worst in them, or can speak to what good there is in them. And of course, there are good individuals amongst them. You see. So controlling your emotional nature doesn't utterly change the world from what it is. It doesn't utterly change people. But it gives them a tendency to respond in like kind. Go out angry, and you'll be surprised at how many angry people you meet in the same day. Go out in a good mood, and you'll be surprised at how many other people in good moods you will meet in the same day.
Wow. Okay, so we're trying to say that what you give out most of the time returns back to you.
It does.
It does. Wow, wow. Okay, that's something. Now, generally now, let me play the devil's advocate. Now, a number of people say this is some sort of positive thinking. You know, there's Norman Vincent Peale, who came up with the power of positive thinking, and then now some other people came up with there's this style of thinking they call the negative thinking. It's more or less like people talk about it being strategy thinking. Like if you start thinking as though it's going to fail, and then it will help you come up with strategies that will help you, to handle it in the case which is most likely to happen that it doesn't go as you planned it. What do you think about what they call negative thinking?
Okay, I'm going to change the names a bit.
Yes, okay.
There is positive thinking, which gets to the point of being unrealistic. Head in the clouds,
castles in the sky,
castles in the sky,
unicorns,
and with very little anchorage in reality. That is not healthy.
Okay.
It's not healthy.
Okay.
There is also problem thinking, in which a person is so focused on the presenting symptoms of the problem.
Okay.
The blame game. And with very little outlook on where they want to go. That too is not healthy if it's prolonged.
Okay, okay.
Now, magical, positive, pie-in-the-sky thinking is not a bad beginning. Some of the greatest dreams have arisen from such
such
things.
style
But
of thinking.
you've got to get down to the reality.
Basis. Okay, so we have to round up. We don't have
all right,
time.
all right.
Let's
Now
just
the
round up
happy,
now, very fast.
the happy medium is what we call outcome thinking, in which you have
Okay.
a clear idea of what's wrong,
Okay.
where you are, and also a clear idea of where you want to go. And that generates a creative tension between both states, which enables you to find your way, to look for resources, to look for ways and means to get from where you are to where you want to be.
Want to be. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. For those of you
I imagine
who
him
are-
as Mr. President.
Yes, who are singing of Batiko Toy and you want to win Grammy.
Yeah, you're sad.
That is castle in the sky.
Yes.
Your bed ticket is as long as from the roof to here, and you want to be richer than Bill Gates. Oga, you're
It's
the long
possible
team.
now, it's
Okay, so
possible.
how do people get in touch with you? Maybe social media and all of that if they want to get to
Yes.
know what you do.
I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook.
LinkedIn, I like that. When I talk about LinkedIn, and then some of you be like,
Professional.
what are you talking about? LinkedIn.
Not Instagram.
how do you, what's the handle on LinkedIn?
It's Adeboye Martin.
Okay.
It's
On
my name.
LinkedIn.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great one, great one. Thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you,
great
sir.
having you
My
on the
pleasure.
show.
Thank
All right,
pleasure.
you can also follow me on LinkedIn at Mike Mesikeno.
You can also follow me on LinkedIn as Peace Odiate.